Sunday the 20th of July. We finally had some rain. We had some rain over the night into Saturday morning. A bit of rain yesterday during the day, not that much. And some again last night. It feels like it might have actually got on the ground, which is a bonus. And the plants are quite enjoying it. We had to do the first knockback. But generally everything else is not at that stage yet. I'd expect these plants to be budding probably in about 10 days or so, maybe to a fortnight onwards, which will be about right for the first bank holiday shows being the 24th of August, so anything around about the very end of July, 1st of August will be bud take. So this is the Dahlias. They're all down to numbers. See the left hand side are a little bit more up and down and smaller than the right because they were stopped about 2.5 weeks ago. Not the second chop, where these were a week before. So hopefully there will be a natural succession. This is Ruskin, Tracy's, Winholm, and hopefully dark at the end. The Brinterfel, those that I only did on a single stop because I lost my nerve. I've pretty much had to knock back, as you can see. And these ones here would have been on a double stop, which aren't budding yet, but hopefully will be good for national timing. And the ones in that row were the ones that I did on a single stop, but later into June, and we've got buds on those, so they're not going to be far off for that August bank holiday time. An old plant there, keen on the look of, might come out, but generally the brins are decent. And there's Trisha. Took these down to 4s. They were the first thing I did do, purely because of messing about, and there's a little bit of strength coming into those stems now. This bed is the one that I probably went a bit too heavy, and actually had done this a week before that bed. It looks like because they pretty much took a check, they're going to flower after the ones that were done more recently, which is a good point to remember for next year. I've got a tie on, but I didn't really need it at the time, so I do have to just make sure that the shoots are the right side of the string. Be careful not to snap them doing it. Like they don't get caught up like that one. I need 2 hands to, oh no, bring that through. But they do grow so quick this time of the year that one day they don't reach the string, and the next day they're pushing the wrong side of it. So just go through and just make sure they're where they're supposed to be. Same there, even that little one down there. I'll just pull him up. That means you have a good look at the plants as well when you're doing it. I'm sure I looked at these yesterday, but they didn't need it. But today they do. So you just don't want that string to grot them halfway through the growing tip. I'll do the rest of that later. So they're doing alright. I think they'll be okay. They're 4 up this year, 5 last. But I just want to get a little bit more size in them. Dave's choice. It's going to be probably the last bed that I go through, taking down the numbers. I'm not going to be all that far off. I'll probably want that about 9 up. And the poms, we're just starting to get buds in those. This one's actually hallmark. I'll just pinch them back fairly hard because I think there's enough coming through, and that'll just give some succession in the flowering. I don't want too many breaks because these two varieties, being hallmark and Gertler, aren't the biggest. So just take those off. This is for I've got 3 hours this morning before I go to work. And I'll be working on these. This is Apricorn Sunrise. As you can see, I've got the 2 plants there done yesterday morning. And that's as far as I got. And then we've got Marriage Demander. And every year I get a couple of plants that just darker foliage, a little bit stunty, like that. And they're clearly not healthy. I wouldn't say they're virused, but the health has broken down. This year I've got 3 plants. It should be that one, and that one, but there's 36 here, so that just sort of brings me down to 33, which 16 up is enough anyway. The Aggie and Louis are sort of growing out of it a bit, but I don't feel with confidence when they're not what they can be health-wise. This will be the last bed that will get done, and that'll probably be next week. That's Barbary Surprise, and these have only been second stopped about 2 weeks ago. Bright and Softer Gleam are done, and they're all down to 8s. That bed and this one, and then the Barbary Surprise that was stopped a week before the last bed we saw, which is those. They're all down to numbers and the tyres on. That was yesterday's job, getting wet, but they always look lovely after a bit of rain. They had a feed on Wednesday, so this is just water, and I won't need to put the pipes on this morning, but they're looking good, and I'm remotely happy, and I'll be even happier once I've all down the numbers and finished. Hope we had a good weekend. Thursday the 31st of July. Really getting into the securing the buds now, a bit of knocking back as I do the first run through. Also getting the second ties on. So a lot to do. Spent a day on it yesterday, and a day on it today. That should give me in a pretty much straight position to just carry on to spudding from there on. It just all sort of comes as a watch for me at the start. So this is the poms. You can see they're hedging up nicely now, and they will get a tie maybe today, but hopefully soon. It's Dave's choice. Plenty of buds. But I won't be securing those ones. I want smaller ones, so they'll be coming off. But they're doing well. One of the first year seedlings at the top there, and tomatoes. See from the sheet, I always have a sheet. Got most of the numbers. Wanted 40 Winholm each of Ruskin, Tracy and Dark. Got those. Now Trisha only managed to get 30 secured out of the 40 I was ideally wanting, and the Giants. So this side has been done. See the nurse Trisha getting away, and definitely the bed I stopped latest is the furthest forward. And they've got their second tyres on. This is the second bed. I'm pretty confident that all of these will still give me buds to flower within the show period. Bryn are really bulking up nice now. They've had their second tie, and I've got the wasp traps out plenty of wasps about now. Even had a couple of hornets yesterday. Here's the Dahlias, and they're really getting up the sticks. They had a light feed yesterday of an organic feed, which I think was Rocket Grow. I'm just going to give them a couple of high potash feeds, which would be the Soluble Professional, the Violet, which is a high potash. This is Tracy Diane. I hope it's Tracy Diane. I did have the odd funny label. So funny label is the wrong label. So I've got a feeling I might have between the Dianes a few rogue positions, as long as it balances out. Doesn't matter where they are. Winarm and dark. And then this side is what I'll be working on today. The Barbary Surprise, Bright and Softer Gleam, more Barbary Surprise. And I've got small buds in, but I should try and focus on the first block for the buds. The Aggie and Louis. There's only one plant really of Aggie that I think is remotely acceptable, with being that one. The others are a bit iffy looking. And Mary's, and it was yesterday, and someone else said to me yesterday about the same. This spotting on the leaf, if it focuses, just sort of patchiness. There we go, it's better. And this spotting, I can't imagine it's smut. It's got to be, or whatever it is. I don't think it's naturally health, because the health of the plant is fine, the new growth is good. It's just this mottling on the old stuff. But I've not had it before. I've got it now. So it'd be good to find out what that is and what we can do about it. And then we've got the Apicorn Sunrise, which is a little bit later than the average bear, it seems, but there is some buds just about. And there we go, just see them in there. So hopefully I'll have a few of those for this Apicorn show. Just won't have that many for Essex, nor before. There isn't really a before Essex in the show world. So stuff's looking good. The pipes have saved me hours, and that's been put onto the plants. So hopefully, you never know, they might pay off, and they might even be a bit better. It certainly does take the pressure off and my arms on, as long as I normally would, walking up and down, especially in what's been pretty much a drought year. So let's crack on. When we're looking at the timing, I look at the plant and see what is takeable. So a bud pea size sitting in there, this is Mary's Germander, is perfect. So 23 days time, 24 days, that's going to be a flower. All the wing buds, side shoots on that stem come off. You sometimes lose the odd leaf. And this is where you hope you don't find a wasp hanging around in the plant. So they come out. There's another one just about there. You could go digging for it. I won't. There's 36 plants and I probably want about 100 buds. I'm sure I'll find them. This size now is pointless, but looking at the plant, I know that this one's got a bud in it. This is just in there. I could probably hook in there and take that. There's stuff behind, so I don't need to go to a shoot that has got a bud in it, because I'm going to have those. So that comes out and is removed, and then I'll pick one of these shoots that are going to have a bud. Probably that one's formed already in it, so that's a weekend bud. I'll probably go for that one that hasn't yet, and all the energy needs to go into that, so all the side shoots come out all the way down again. This would be about 16 up, and then repeat the same, so it sort of becomes a bit quicker when you're used to it. don't go digging too deep on mirrors because it's naturally big, and there's another one over there that comes off and down, and that pretty much sets that plant up now for flowering for the season. So over the next fortnight, every shoot will have a bud in it, but all not at the same time. And we've got one there, two, I probably will secure that, 3 flowers on that plant that's going to flower for bank holiday weekend, with the rest following on. Times that by 36 plants, you're going to have a lot of flowers. Thursday the 1st of August morning. I just come up. I was planning not coming up this morning after 2 days. I took Thursday off this week, so I had Wednesday and Thursday up here. Managed to clock in about 20 hours. I just didn't quite get a chance to finish the Dave's Choice yesterday, so I've just done the last 7 or 8 plants this morning, and then I'll start on these poms, which are a bit of a hedge. There's a couple of plants in here that I think are going to get pulled out or cut down. There's one there, and there's one there. The water is going, just I fed yesterday, so these didn't get the feed, but they're getting their water in this morning. And there's a tester bloom over there. We shall see how it does. It's a hallmark that got the problems. The first 2 rows of Gertler are fine as far as health is concerned, but these come from a little pot tuber I managed to scrap around and find a few cuttings off last year, pot tubered them again, and that's what you get, a little bit of up and down stock. But hopefully I can give this a proper look at it, select the better plants and grow it again, perhaps properly next year. So Dave's Choice, they're done. They're on 9 up. They're quite powerful plants, so I didn't want to get too carried away with them. And there's 30 of those. The magic sheet, that's just blown on the floor. Shows I've just taken my numbers. I've pretty much got what I wanted for today, or for this take, which for me gets me to Essex. So we've taken 40 Winholm Diane, 40 Ruskin Diane, 40 Tracy Diane, 40 Dark Diane, 100 Mary's Germander. It's probably a bit over confident in a sense because I lost count, but I don't think there was more than 100. 70 Dave's Choice, same applies there, probably somewhere between 60 and 70. Barbary Surprise 80, I was looking for 100, but I could probably find some more, but I'm happy with that. Abercorn Sunrise I haven't done yet. I'm just going to do those on this take and just take all that's there, because there isn't many buds there to take, hence a little cross. Light and Soft to Gleam 100. Now it's Trisha 30, wanted 40. Bryn Turfles, Eggy Whites, Louis, and the poms have just got ticks, because those are sort of taken beforehand, and I'll probably get time this morning go through them again, just budding. Once I've done that first one with a knock, I tend to just take them as they come. So now it's Trisha, just about managed to find the buds, and they are something like that. We're 23 days from Essex, so they'll be a bit bigger buds. So I've done these, I think I might have done them on Tuesday, I lose track of the week, but I just about found 30, and it looks like, by the way they're breaking out, when I start going through again on Monday, ones like that, and that I should be able to get, so the follow on naturally does come. I was putting the second ties on as I was doing the bud takes, just to get them done, and if it pretty much means that if I never had time to get another row of string round, that's probably enough, but I do normally, certainly on the taller varieties, put a third one around the tops of the canes. These are about the tallest spring turfle I've had for a long time. These plants here that are getting to the tops of the canes, I double stop those, and they're producing buds, so they wouldn't have been much crop for the early shows. I think that's probably going to be after Essex. I don't think that's going to be far away, but it's worked without having to mess about with them too much, so it's a good bed of spring turfle there. Then we've got the Dahlias all done, second tide stopped and knocked back. Hard to believe when you look at some of these green hedges of plants that it's going to be flowers in 23 days time, but the numbers say there will be, so, and I trust in the numbers. So we've got buds and about 40 on each of those 3/4 varieties. Barbara Surprise took me 2 hours to go through this bed. It's like a cabbage underneath. As soon as it produces a bud, it throws out loads of side shoots. So pretty much every break that had a bigger bud has been knocked back. As you can see there, and all the shoots below removed, and that second tie put on. Happy with the bright and softer gleam. Managed to secure about 100 buds. Quite a bit of knocking back as well, but that should just stagger the flush now through the show season. Didn't get much chance to do these. This is a second bit of Barbary Surprise. There's buds in there, and I might whisk through and just take a few to get to that 100, but I've changed from going 9 up to 8 up, so I've got a few less stems to play with, so 80 will probably do me, and I'll just knock these back to the next bud. Nearly not nice plot bed on the plot, which is the other giants, Louis and Aggie. That plant there's fine. If it was all like that, I'd be happy, but there's a lot of crinkly foliage going on. Had a bit of it last year and still got the best giant to show from a Louis White, but I don't like growing plants like that, so unless I can get some new stock that is healthy, might be growing those again. Mary's Jamander, they took some sorting out. I've still got these sort of runty plants which I've left there, and I might pull them out if I ever get a chance. But they're done. But what there is this measles on certain plants, whatever it is. We don't seem to know. It's lovely fresh foliage and good growth on the same plant, and growth like that on others. Really don't know what it is. I don't think we'll find out for a little while, but not much I can do, just keep them growing. So the new growth is always good. The old growth was good up until about a week ago, and it started going spotty. And this is the Abercorn Sunrise, which is at point of bud, I'd say, albeit there is probably some small buds in some of these like that. That's got a bud in it. So hopefully I'll get a few out for the Abercorn show. So that's one there that will comfortably make it. But I wanted a few more than that, but it is a bit later than the others. So in general, I would say the plants are well timed. They look like they've been well grown. It's lucky. The hose pipe has saved me many hours that I've managed to then turn into the plants, and I'm about as on top of it as I can be. Next bud takes Monday. Hopefully we find a numbers on that, and then the next one after that will probably be Friday, Saturday following, and that'll hopefully get me to the national. Hope you find your buds. Good luck everyone. See you on the bench if not before.